Hello, and welcome to AIM International's preparatory tutorials for the Information Certification exam. I'm Steve Weissman, Principal Consultant at Holly Group and a certified AIM training instructor in the realm of content, process, and information management. I'll be your guide as we review the exam's major domains of expertise, and I'll tell you all you need to know to earn that passing grade. Today's subject is e-discovery, a key part of this special certification, which AIM created to support you as you solve your organization's existing information-related problems and plan for its future. For 60 years, AIM has been the leading nonprofit association, helping users understand how to best manage documents, content, records, and business processes. This module is part of the Secure and Preserve Knowledge domain, one of 6 within the certification program. In it, we'll explore these critical aspects of the practice of e-discovery: capturing and producing web-based information, preserving web pages and sites as evidence, authenticity, integrity, and reliability of web data, authenticating digital documents, the best evidence rule, and e-discovery costs. In the course of analyzing websites and pages during e-discovery, it often becomes necessary to preserve important web-based evidence like site text that manifests trademark infringement, to cite photos related to copyright infringement, or cite files that demonstrate security breaches have occurred. It may also become necessary to analyze, after the fact, the way certain web pages and sites appeared on certain days and times, as litigation procedures may require that certain website manifestations be presented as evidence in court. Web spider and crawler software programs are used in e-discovery to mirror web pages and reproduce whole sites for a given date and time. Most spider and crawler capture programs work the same way. You provide a starting URL, presumably either the front page of the site or a deep link for the main offending page, and then you tell the program how many levels deep of the site or third-party sites you want the spider and capture. Be aware, though, when you input your capture criteria and start the spidering software, that the required amount of memory grows exponentially based on decisions regarding levels to crawl, linked pages to store, and whether to follow links to third-party sites and servers. Spidering tools, like so many, come in different flavors. At their simplest, getting access to historical manifestations of web pages and web sites can be had by searching the Google cache or using the Wayback Machine. The more complex of them, though, allow for much more accurate page and site capture and are particularly useful for copying a large number of web pages and sites over a long period of time, and fully automating the process, up to and including the periodic programmatic review of the target websites for changes and subsequent copies. These programs use specialized methods of web spidering and capture that preserve the integrity of the original site and thus may reduce or mitigate attacks on evidence admissibility. Some of these methods include maintaining actual file names, server directory structure, and Unix compatibility. These tools cannot mine source code, however. Obtaining the original web source code may require the use of litigation methods like subpoenas and document requests. The goal in all this, of course, as it is with any evidence, is to lay a proper foundation to make a case. Early court decisions require that the authentication of digital documents call for a more comprehensive foundation. But as courts became more familiar with these sorts of materials, they backed away from the higher standard and have since held that computer data compilations should be treated as any other record. A common attack on digital evidence is that digital media can be easily altered. But in 2002, a U.S. court ruled the fact that it's possible to alter data contained in a computer is plainly insufficient to establish untrustworthiness. Nevertheless, the more comprehensive foundation remains good practice, and the American Law Reports list a number of ways to establish this basis. Specifically, it suggests that the proponent demonstrate the reliability of the computer equipment, the manner in which the basic data was initially entered, the measures taken to ensure the accuracy of the data as entered, the method of storing the data and the precautions taken to prevent its loss, the reliability of the computer programs used to process the data, and the measures taken to verify the accuracy of the program. At the end of the day, the operating principle in force is that of the best evidence rule, which pertains only to documents and states that to prove the contents of writing, recording, or photograph, the original document must be produced, provided its unavailability is not the fault of the party trying to authenticate the contents. If the original cannot be located, the author can validate its contents through sworn testimony. Either that, or the person who read the writing, listened to the recording, or viewed the photograph may testify as to its content. But if the best evidence isn't available, then federal and state rules of evidence usually permit the use of mechanical, electronic, or other similarly produced facsimile instead of the original. Now here's the tricky part. A digital document is, in actuality, a set of code-based document descriptors that materially exist as magnetic impulses on a hard drive, which when viewed with the right document authoring software can qualify as legal evidence. Absent the authoring software, those impulses cannot qualify as a document. Likewise, they don't qualify as evidence in the courtroom, unless a surviving paper copy or a digital copy in living media format can be discovered and authenticated. The lesson? Always be sure you have software available to read your documents, and or, as counterintuitive as it sounds, a hard copy backup. Because all this work comes at a cost, it's important to understand what you may be getting into before you get into it. Not a bad way to justify an e-discovery solution either, by the way. Collectively, the task of electronic data discovery, or EDD, includes loading the data onto an EDD platform, extracting and flattening attachments and embedded files, converting the data to a readable format, reducing the volume of the data by culling it down based on keyword filters, deduping it, and then creating a load file to enable the data to be loaded into an electronic review software program. In 2007, EDD processing costs were $1,500 to $2,000 per gigabyte. Today, they've dropped to less than $1,500 per gigabyte, depending on whether or not the clients request keyword filtering, deduplication, or other specialized processing. Some service providers and vendors are even charging less than $1,000 per gig for what they're calling quick peak EDD processing, which is nothing more than flattening and converting the ESI into a format that can be read by one of the electronic document review platforms. Hourly rates for manual document review range from $250 to $500 per hour or higher. But if the labor is outsourced, rates drop to as low as $35 per hour. This module has taken us on a quick tour of eDiscovery web capture, information authentication, and costs. Having now completed it, you may next wish to view the one covering different information production requirements. The material you have just reviewed is part of a broader program of study that prepares you to take the Information Certification exam. This proctored test consists of 100 multiple-choice questions and is delivered electronically by Prometric. You'll have 2 hours to complete it, and upon passing, you'll earn a professional certification that's valid for 3 years. For more information, please visit www.aim.org/certification. Thank you.